Hello, family. I hope we are all doing amazing. We thank God again for the gift of life. I hope our week is going well so far. And I hope we are taking it easy, one step at a time. Tonight, I want us to think about how important it is as Christians for us to guard our hearts. So, another way to say guarding is to protect our heart. So, no matter how spiritual we feel we are, no matter how much we feel we know the word, no matter how strong we think we are in any resolutions that we have made for ourselves, if we don't guard our heart, we'll find ourselves doing the very things that we don't want to do. Am I the only one that has ever made a resolution at the end of the year? Resolutions are decisions that we make and we decide to really hold on to it and stand firm to it. Am I the only one that has ever made a decision like that? I'm going to do this year, I'm going to do that. And then in the beginning, we are so serious with it. And about 2 to 3 months into it, we find ourselves going back to the same things that we didn't want to do. That is another reason that we need to guard our hearts. So, what does it mean to guard our heart as people, as Christians? There are so many factors that come into play. The things that we see all the time. Have you ever seen something that makes you want to do something that you don't want to do? You know, you see a movie, a certain kind of movie, and it gets you into a mood that you don't want to go into. Or you listen to some kind of music, and then all of a sudden you are in a different kind of mindset. You want to do something you don't want to do, that you don't have to do as a Christian. You know, or even you find yourself in an environment that after you leave that environment or after you leave a certain kind of conversation, you feel like wild. You feel like a different person. You want to do certain things that in your normal state you wouldn't even do. This is the reason why these senses that leads to our heart needs to be guarded, needs to be protected. In other words, we need to watch what we see. We need to guard what we want to see and what we hear. You know, if we don't guard our senses and the things that where we find ourselves, there are some places that we don't want to go. There are some conversations that we don't want to be part of. There are some music and movies that we don't want to watch because we know that the moment we go here to this place, the moment we watch these kind of movies, we'll find ourselves doing some things. We'll find ourselves in certain issues that we don't want to find ourselves in. So that is why it is very important to guard our heart by deciding the kind of things you want to be seeing. You don't go on social media and see everything that is there, the insults and the fights, you know, that gives you more vocabs to fight. You know, these are things that you don't know that we are learning. We don't know we are learning, but we pick up out of seeing these things on social media, out of seeing these things in movies or wherever it is that we might find ourselves. So as Christians, it's important for us to guard our hearts, all the senses that leads to our hearts, our eyes, our ears, the things that we're hearing, the kind of music that we are listening to, the kind of conversations we are listening to, the kind of places that we know that when we go to these places, it will not end well. We know that we'll find ourselves doing certain things that we don't want to do. It is up to us, and with the help of the Holy Spirit, to guard. In other words, put boundaries on things that you don't want to hear, that you know that will lead you to sin or will lead you back to your old ways. If you're trying to go on a diet, you don't want to be watching the food channel or things that the kind of food that was making us gain weight in the first place. So this is just an example. It's important for us to guard our heart, guard the things that go inside of us, and end up becoming part of us and end up leading us to places and things that we don't want to do in the first place. Tonight, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. He says, above all things, Solomon says, guard your heart, for out of your heart flows the issues of life. Out of the things that we see, we hear, we do, the environments we find ourselves in, that gets into our hearts. Out of this heart will flow the issues of life. So imagine if we are listening to the right kind of music, we are getting ourselves in the right kind of environment, and we are doing what we have to do as Christians. The fruits will come out better. We will bear fruits that glorify God, instead of being in environments that will make us bear fruits that does not please God. Tonight, take this into your thoughts. Meditate on this. Guard your heart. Think about yourself. I'm thinking about myself. I'm going to think about myself as I go to sleep. What are the things that I can take out? And what are the things that I can add to what I allow into my heart? And I know in doing this, it will help us a lot. Even in our regular lives, it will help us to live a better, healthier lives to God's glory. And our spiritual lives also will be healthy, so far as we control the things that goes into our hearts. I hope you are blessed, and I hope that we'll meditate on it, because I know God will speak to each and every one of us in his own way. Have a blessed night. I love you. Bye-bye.